Here's why yoga isn't helping to relieve your anger and how to fix it. You do this by practicing yoga that's specifically designed to address your anger. Will this yoga change the sources of your anger? Of course not. But it will begin to open the liver and gallbladder meridians and the channels through the body that can get blocked and stagnant in the buildup of anger, and can contribute to how you feel anger, the intensity in which you feel it, how often you feel it. Now, how you choose to express anger and how you choose to use anger to either create more alignment in your life or misalignment in your life is up to you. And that's work that's done off the mat, so to speak. And this is something that I address in other wood element practices that I provide on this channel. But I'll just begin with some questions for you to feel into. Has anger been impacting or influencing your relationships? And if so, how? Is anger influencing how you show up every day, how you're experiencing your life every day, and how you're communicating? Is anger impacting the compassion you feel for the people around you? And most importantly, is anger influencing the compassion that you feel for yourself? When anger becomes chronic, it can begin to create illness in the body, along with any other emotional state that becomes chronic, right? Emotions are meant to rise and move and pass. So in that case, is anger perhaps becoming chronic for you? And is it beginning to create any kind of tension in your body? With the liver gallbladder channels, the liver is related to muscles, tendons. So getting off in this way, it can create a lot of tension in the muscular system. The tendons can begin to feel dry. You can feel dry in your eyes. You can maybe have more PMS symptoms or more challenges with your menstrual cycle. And so this is something for you to explore. Can you identify any correlation between your experience with anger and these symptoms that may be arising in your body? So whether anger is showing up for you just acutely, things happening in the world, maybe something in your life, or if anger is something that you're experiencing more chronically, it could be from things that happened in your childhood and continue to influence you now, or things that happened 10 years ago that you continue to carry. I welcome you to show yourself some compassion and let yourself begin to rest out of this anger by beginning to remove any blockages through the liver and gallbladder channels. These blockages that can either keep you from expressing anger in the ways that you need to express it compassionately, or let you explore other emotional experiences that are deeper than the anger, that the anger is actually protecting you from feeling. And you can do this with the yoga that I'm providing in this video. Because it's yin, it welcomes you to open and soften and relax. And because it's designed for you right now to explore anger that may be held in your body. And this anger that can get stored in the body, that can become chronic and can begin to taint how we see the world, and can develop into resentment that likes to rerun in the mind and festers in the body then, and can turn into this sour, bitter feeling that we just can carry. I'm going to share a link for a quiz where you can see which other elements you want to explore. Because like I said, anger tends to be more protective and more surface level. There are other emotional states that are beneath the anger. And this can help to soften and begin to relieve the anger, kind of taking the lid off the pressure cooker. So the quiz that I'll share gives you insight into which elements you want to focus on most. And this can help you get beneath the anger. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the 5-element theory, the practice that I'm sharing here, and of course, your takeaways, your experience with this yin yoga practice that we'll get into. Definitely subscribe so you can continue to receive the practices that I'm sharing here. And so these practices can begin to reach more people as well. All right, let's get into the practice. So for this practice, you'll want a couple big pillows that can take more weight, ideally, and 1 or 2 smaller cushions, or something that can act like a smaller cushion. And we will begin by sitting with the legs open wide. This will be the way that we will be seated through this practice. So for this, it can be helpful to sit on a small cushion. One way to feel this for yourself is that you can take your weight out and that you aren't already rounding through the spine. If you begin rounding through the back to take your weight forward, I suggest sitting on a small cushion. And then that can help begin to train your hips to open up, create a little more space for this external rotation for the torso to come forward. And then you're creating more space through your lower back, through the pelvis, through the legs, and through the liver channel that we're specifically working with in this practice, and the gallbladder channel as well. And once you feel that you have appropriate height underneath your hips to support you in this posture, let's take the hands and wrap the fingers so they face the outside of your thighs. And so you're helping encourage this external rotation. You're grounding down through your legs. The knees are continuing to face up. The feet are facing up toward the ceiling as you take your weight forward. Maybe it doesn't come forward very much, which is fine. If you feel an opening, that's it. That's where you want to be. And wherever you are with this, of course, this is something I've done since I was a little girl. I grew up a gymnast. So maybe I have a little more opening through my adductors. You don't have to be doing stuff the way I do it. It's feeling it for yourself. How does this feel for you? What is your expression of this posture? It may be right here. Maybe you have a little more range. You can rest on your forearms. If you have more range, perhaps you can come all the way down, resting your forehead down, or you want to use a cushion under your forehead to rest your forehead down. So these are all your options. And once you're in your expression of this posture, for now, for today, let your eyes begin to soften. If it's comfortable, you can let them close. And feeling a softening of the muscles around your eyes and through your eyes. And as you feel a perhaps obvious opening through your inner thighs, let your shoulders relax. Feel the sides of the torso relax, where the gallbladder channel runs, down through the outside of the hips. And so there can be this opening and anchoring through the external rotators. And letting go of any judgment of yourself, of your body, in this moment, in this posture, in anything that's coming up in your life right now. And feeling the quality of any holding through the inner thighs. How the tension may feel through the muscles themselves. And how this may be reflected in patterns showing up for you emotionally, mentally. And as you feel yourself release in this posture, perhaps you begin to feel more space through the back, through the waist, through the shoulders. Now you can begin to engage, bringing your head up, walking your hands in to come to sit. You can rest your hands onto your thighs, onto your knees, and just taking a few moments here, letting your eyes remain closed or rest in a gentle gaze. And feeling the space that's already opened up through your legs and how that creates more space up through the rest of the body. This relationship between the lower body and upper body. And how this creates more space through the mind. Perhaps eases, softens any tense emotions. Now you can let your eyes open, and you'll want to take one of your big pillows to the outside of your left leg. And this will be pretty individualized, depending on you, your body, the moment, how you're feeling right now. I'm going to let my weight drop into my left arm, into the pillow, and then reach up through the right arm, curve through the spine. So I'm grounding down through the right hip as I open up and out through the right arm. And then let the right arm bend. And I'm going to use my left hand to support that arm and let the arm rest behind my head. And then just rest into this. So feel into this for yourself. Perhaps you don't need 2 cushions, perhaps you need the small cushion on top of the 2. We're really feeling this through the outside of your right hip, the right side of the waist, so the space between the right hip, the lower ribs, through the ribs themselves, the right side of the neck, around the right ear, into the right temple. If your eyes aren't closed already, let your eyes close. Feel this through the top of the right shoulder, as that shoulder rests into the back away from the ear. So we're really opening through the gallbladder channel. And perhaps as you rest into this, you feel that you can release more weight into your left arm, into the support of the props you're using. You can let the head be heavier, opening up deeper through the side of the right side of the neck. And as you spill over into the left side, let your right hip anchor down. Just a few more breaths. I find this is a difficult posture to hold for a really long time because it's still active because of the lift through the arm. And just using these last breaths to feel into the right side of your body. Even breathing into the right lung, opening up through the right side of the rib cage, down through the waist, down through the outside of the hip. And then you can release, bringing the arm back down, coming to sit into the center, letting the hands rest onto the knees, taking some moments here. Just observing that opening. Sure, if you could see yourself in the mirror, your right shoulder is relaxed further away from the ear than the left shoulder. I can definitely feel that. Now you can open your eyes and we'll take this on the other side. So just set up your props to the outside of your right leg. And this side might be different from the first, which is only natural. And once you have your prop set up, ground down through your left hip as you reach up and out and over through your left arm, already feel an opening through the left ribs, the left side of the waist, down through the outside of the hip. And let your weight rest into the right arm, into the cushions. Let your arms rest behind your head. Just finding your expression of this right now. Might look a little different from me, that's fine. I'm using my right hand to help support my left arm and even encouraging it back a bit so I'm not really spilling my weight forward. Let your eyes rest closed or relax if they aren't already. Let the head become heavier toward the cushions. And feeling an opening through the left side of the neck, through the top of the shoulder, and down through the back of the shoulder.
side ribs, the waist, and down through the outside of your left hip. And if you feel like your left hip is lifting up off of the ground, see if you can let it relax down. As with any yin posture, your work here, your assignment, is exploring where you're holding and using your awareness to let that holding go, let go of any effort. And as you do, perhaps you deepen into the posture, deepen into the opening. And exploring how your breath can support you in this process of letting go. There's a couple more breaths. Breathing into the left lung, the side ribs, the left side of the body. And then you can bring the left arm down, bring the head up, come into the center, rest your hands onto your knees, take some moments here. Your eyes continue to relax, close, or in a soft gaze. Feeling space down through your hips, out through your legs, and how this creates more space and lift up through the waist, up through the neck, the shoulders, and the space between the shoulders and your ears. Even feeling the space around the ears into the temples. Now you can open your eyes, use your hands to support you as you bring your feet in, and then just shake it out a bit. And let's just cross the legs to sit. Let your eyes rest closed. And you can bring your hands together into prayer. Let your head drop toward your hands. And thank your body, thank your breath. And thank yourself for taking this time to be present with your body, with your breath. And if you want to continue your practice, to let your practice integrate throughout the rest of your body, you can make your way into Shavasana, or you can close out your practice in a seated meditation.